Coach, welcome to the qualifiers. Maybe you can tell us about the team's preparation for your match against Bangladesh tomorrow. Thank you.
Go ahead, Coach.
Our specific preparation for this competition starts the 11th of May. Our championship finish in.
Come closer. Yeah. Take care. You can take it.
Our preparation start in about 11th of May. Our championship finish on 28, 27 of April, and we have a gap here, a big gap without competition, and we try to fulfill since 11th of May. In Bahrain, after we find excellent conditions in Thailand and the support of Thai Association and the BG Club to use their facilities, and the support of Thai Association to get us to all the places and have the right environment to keep working with good conditions, and we did it. There we had 2 games, 2 official friendly games against Myanmar and Thailand that help us to keep building up and be the best prepared as we can to this first game.
Thank you. We'll take questions for Coach Helio.
Take this small cable. I'm from. Okay. Coach, myself actually Arnab Shah. I'm from Bangladesh 24 Hours news channel journalist. So as a ranking, Bangladesh is very much below against Bahrain. So how much competitive match you will face up tomorrow? Because the Bangladesh is strained and is not enough good as well.
Some teams, what the value of them at this moment don't have to anything to do what ranking they are at this moment. The teams are building up. The ranking competition was to be played home and away, and that kind of competition is more probably the strongest team in the end of the competition arrive first, have more conditions to that happen. In a close competition like this one, 3 games, 7 days, it's much more open, and everything can happen. And I think almost all the teams for sure will depart with the same expectations. Win the next game. The first game of this kind of competition is very important, and we are expecting a very
No, just hold on. We'll get the captain soon. Any questions for the head coach, please? Can you? Yes.
The intention, of course, is must to start with a win for your side. With 2 more games, as you said, 3 games in 7 days. Will there also be some squad management for you in terms of, because you are on paper, what is the weakest team in the group first? So have
problems for the next one, and we have to think on this first one, and the other we'll deal it as it comes. And We will have more information about us, we will have more information about the team that we will face the next, and we will prepare the next games at their own time. Now we are focused mostly until the last these 2 days on us, keeping focus on us, and now with more attention with the team that we play against tomorrow, Bangladesh. And after will be another game to manage. Before that, all the plans can go by the drain. If we don't get what we want from the first game, or we must change plans. Our plan now is just focus in tomorrow's game, deal with that, be prepared the most as we can to have the most probabilities that we can to win that game. After we start to think in the next opponent and the conditions for the next game, we will have to deal with a lot. We find our players were the first time maybe from 3-4 years that play with rain. Seems normal, but for our players not normal. We find that for 2 years at least in Thailand. The adversity is that if you don't find that in Thailand, maybe it was the first time the next game against the Bangladesh, that our players will face that, must learn with that. During the game, it's much more difficult. The kind of grass that we are catching here is totally different that we catch from the last 2, 3, 4 years. Totally different. The condition of the pitch, the training pitch that we are having here. Some of the pitch we don't have conditions to take baths after the training. We must make recover after the training, make ice baths, hot baths, massage. That our methodology of recovering we can't do right away after the finish of the training. We are going back in the bus, all sweating to the bus, going to the hotel 20, 30 minutes. After arriving there, we are doing in each room or the room of the medical. It's not the normal conditions for doing. We are dealing with a lot, but after tomorrow, anything of that will count, and we must be stronger and win upon that. And having 6 games in the same pitch in 7 days, each game will have different conditions, and we must deal with that at each on time. Tomorrow, maybe the pitch will be the best conditions ever. It's the first game of the competition. After the third, after the 4th game, after the 5th game on the same pitch, we'll see, we'll deal with Bangladesh. Now, our objective to win. After we will deal with the rest.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Hi Coach, I'm Nazrin from Vietnam. Coach, just want to check with you that Bahrain haven't qualified to the Asian Cup since 2004, and 2023 means the 6 consecutive times. So how confident are you by looking at your teams to make one more qualifying round in this?
We'll try to maintain that and put higher that record. Getting our objectives to be first in the group, we'll be there for sure. If not, we must fight to be one of the 5th best seconds. And we already were better than 5th best second to the World Cup qualifiers, but we were 3rd in our group. Even though being 3rd in our group with Iraq and Iran, we were better and more points than the best 5th second of that time. But the rules are there, and was the 5th best second that passed, and that don't give nothing at us at the time. Now we want to conquer this position to be in the last stage of the competition and put that record higher. But we know that we will have a lot of difficulties and adversities to arrive in the end of the 3 games that we must play with that objective conquer. We know that we must fight and give all our best, even sometimes don't go in our way, we must still keep winning in the end of the day. Is that we are prepared to deal with, and we'll let all our soul there and all our capacities there in the beach, and hope that be competent enough that provide us our main objective, that we will be there in the next stage of the competition.
Go ahead.
One more, coach. Besides Bangladesh, what's your assessment or expectation on Turkmenistan and Malaysia, especially for Malaysia team? Your expectation?
About Bangladesh.
No, about
Besides
Malaysia,
Bangladesh.
about Turkmenistan, Malaysia. What do you think about the two teams?
As I told you before, we don't put to my we have another assistant coach that already are working upon that. But me and the players, we are just now focused on Bangladesh, and the rest of the information that our rest of technical staff are collecting will arrive to us at the right time, and we'll be focused on that teams on the right time. For now, Bangladesh.
All right. If there's no more questions for the coach, we'll take questions for the player. Maybe from the player's perspective, what do you think of the match tomorrow against Bangladesh? So, thank you.
Tomorrow game, this opening game will be for us against Bangladesh, and as you know, and as the coach says, this kind of close games, the first game will be very important for us to keep everything is more easier for next two games.
Thank you. Questions for the player, please. Go ahead.
The coach mentioned just now that some of the conditions with regards to training and the field that you're going to play in the national stadium tomorrow, maybe it's not too favorable to you. Do you think that will be a big factor in the style that you play, or in the, for your team to be able to perform to its best?
For sure, these things, if it is on the best condition, it will be perfect for us, but in the end we have to adapt with all conditions. Sometimes you have all conditions is perfect for you, and you will face another problem on the field against the opponent. So as a players, we have to adapt with all difficulties, including the fields, including the weather, including the opponent. That's what we have to do, and to make fast adapting, and to try to get the best of it on the end.
Bahrain comes into this group as the clear favourites because of the position. If we look purely from the position of the rankings and also how the team has performed compared to the other teams in the past few years, does that put added pressure on the team and players to finish top of the group?
No, it's not a pressure to be on this expectation, but on the end, as I told you, as the coach also says, that in the end, what we will perform on the game, and even the last question also maybe to be similar answer for this one, is we have to adapt, and we have to improve that. If the people is thinking, and even if the ranking says we are on the best, we have improved that one, and we have to play to try to keep improving and to be better and better in the future. And even this ranking, if it's on this level now, we try to keep it on the better in the future, and these games will help us to keep improving even for the ranking, and to keep us to be on the better condition, and to face different types of opponents.
I'm Faisal Bazari, from Sukan. Basically, previously, Bahrain, if we see the match before against Malaysia, we have seen that they have win more in terms of matches. So do you think with the new squad that led by Keadaan, what do you think the players will do against Malaysia? What are the tactics that maybe the team will
talking about Malaysia.
It's not clear your question, please. Can you repeat it, please?
Okay, focusing on the game against Malaysia, okay, the home ground.
Yeah, but Malaysia is, I think, we will play against them on 11. Tomorrow we have a game against Bangladesh. So, as Coach says, we are all focused on the first game. So, on the right moment for Malaysia, we will speak about it, inshallah.
Thank you.